We got music going and ready. Coming in. Let me get this down. And we are live. Welcome to the Escape Podcast. My name is Nick.
And I'm Adam, Ezra Miller. Yeah, okay.
All right, getting into it. So, He-Man has found its He-Man. Peter Dinklage is being a dink. Ezra Miller threatens the KKK. Seriously. And Superman writer claims that Kal-El's bisexuality has nothing to do with sales. So, let's get into it, Adam. So, Kyle Allen is it Prince Adam or is it He-Man? Have we figured that out yet? Or because he's got to be both, right?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be. I've always thought that, all right, so in a way, it does. But the way that transformation rolls, like, you ever watch Thor in the 80s, in the late 70s, when they'd have those made-for-TV movies? And those were based off of, like, Silver Age Thor comics. He was just this doctor, this scientist, who found Mjolnir. He was worthy to pick it up, and when he did, he just transformed into Thor, and it was a totally different guy.
Right. Let's see. Kyle Allen's born.
You could do that.
Yeah, he's born in '94, so that makes him how old? 20,
like 27?
28, somewhere around there. Best known, he was just in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, which tanked, didn't do all that well. He was in a number of episodes of American Horror Story, where he played Timothy Campbell. That was, yeah. Did you know about that?
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of American Horror Story. Hold on a second now. Let me.
Yes.
Go ahead. Keep talking. I just want to see this.
So
go ahead.
And as you see right there, he is on IMDb, Masters of the Universe pre-production, slated as Prince Adam and He-Man. So this is supposed to be done for Netflix, right, Adam?
Yes.
So and I think
it is a Netflix deal.
So it's probably coming out in 2023, I believe.
I think that's what. Yeah, initially that's what they said. 2023. I don't recognize him from American Horror Story. So,
He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, goes against the evil Skeletor to save the planet Eternia and protect secrets of Castle Grayskull. So I got that right so far. And he's the only cast that have listed right now. They have the directors as Aaron Nee and Adam Nee. Let's see what they've got. Aaron Nee, Adam Nee. I'm assuming they are brothers, and they're known for The Last Romantic Band of Robbers, Masters Universe, I haven't done yet, and The Lost City. So, the American Experience, not a ton that I know of. I'm not going to lie. So I don't have anything to go off of. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but if it's anything,
sounds like they're still cutting their teeth.
Yeah, it sounds like. Well, it's what some of the things that they've been producing from Netflix. I don't have a ton of hope, but here's the hoping anyway. So,
I mean, I'm gonna see it. They've already got me in. You know that, even if it's a dumpster fire. But
right.
See, this is one of the thing is like this isn't hard to get right.
No, not at all.
Let's give the fans something new, something different. But that's not what they want.
Let's reinvent the wheel, Adam.
Right.
But the wheel works just fine. No, it's terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
It's inefficient.
We got a little visitor. But yeah, the wheel is Mr. Bigglesworth.
Oh. Hey, little fella. So, and it looks like, all right, so let's move on to Peter Dinklage here. So,
yeah.
Peter Dinklage, in case you didn't hear, went after Disney because they're doing a Snow White. It wasn't even supposed to be Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, as it turned out. It's just supposed to be Snow White, and they were going to do have magical beings that weren't dwarves instead of dwarves, but he went after them anyway, basically saying, hey, I've been doing this for so long. I think I've done a better job for dwarves' rights, little people's rights, because how terrible it is. Like, there's 7 dwarves who live in a cave. Like, can't we do better? It's like, I know, Mr. Dinklage, I know what you're saying, but at the same time, there's still an entire industry of little people actors that you literally just wiped out how many jobs by trying to be an advocate for these people, and ends up you're probably gonna end up hurting these people. So, like British actor Chuntan, who has starred as a number of Snow White's companions in various productions across England, told the Daily Mail that he felt Dinklage's comments were hypocritical, as a lot of my colleagues and myself rely on that work just to get by. So you have these working actors who are like, dude, what are you doing? And it goes on, and it just embracing your uniqueness because I play the part, they utilize my bodybuilding and other people's skills. So, it's just, you're literally not quite biting the hand that feeds, but you're biting the hand that feeds a lot of dwarves and little people. So
He's taking a lot of credit that he doesn't deserve too.
right.
He had one scene. I'm sure he's done other things, but he had one scene in a movie that everybody loves. Like we always talk about Ghostbusters was a lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle. They offered like sinful amount of money. A sinful amount of money to Will Ferrell to do Elf 2. And he was like, I can't. It's just a terrible script. It's going to be a terrible movie. And I mean, they offered him insane money and he walked away. Now, I think, my personal opinion, Elf is one of those movies that's lightning in a bottle.
100%.
So he happened to be in a great funny scene that he made funny in one of the instant classics. And, then they're like, hey, the angry elf. Yeah, let's get him in our movie. And then they found out that he's got chops and he was in Game of Thrones, which is arguably one of the greatest shows in history at this point.
And also, made 1.2 million per episode. So
Exactly. So, my question to Mr. Dinklage is, you ever heard of Warwick Davis?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shots fired, pal.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Who carried the industry for a long time as pretty much the little person in Hollywood. And now, obviously, Peter Dinklage is considered the little person in Hollywood. But when you come out and make statements like this, like some of the things they have as, professional wrestling, there's so many different areas that he's hurting that he doesn't even realize that he's hurting. But he just wanted to be, a quote unquote activist. So,
I mean, let me just name a few. I got them pulled up right here. If Mr. Dinklage thinks he's been doing the world of little people such a great favor. All the way back in 1973, there was a little film by George Lucas called American Graffiti. Warwick Davis. Then there was a little movie called Star Wars. And then it had like 2 sequels. I think they did okay.
And
he played R2D2.
Well, I say, you had Kenny Baker who played R2D2, which I know.
He was an Ewok. My bad.
Yeah, because he was in Return of the Jedi, but Kenny Baker was the guy in R2 suit.
R2.
Which, and I know there's so much that's done with CGI, but people who insist on doing practical things like that, you still need little people for things like that.
Exactly. And he was in Cocoon, Leprechaun, Labyrinth. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I don't know what Mr. Dinklage here is trying to say. It sounds like he might like the sauce a little too much, and he needs to definitely get some perspective. Because I think it's a stupid idea to do a Snow White movie without dwarves? Yeah. Because that just goes back to what we just talked about in E-Man. Hey, let's give them something new. No. Give them what they want and do it nice. Do a great job. But I'm open to other things. I am. But I think there's just some things, not that you shouldn't reinvent the wheel on. You don't have to. It's right there.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, if there are things that need to be corrected, there are certain things where, if you're going to do dwarves, do they have to be the ones who, like, live in, caves and all that? No. Like, I understand what he's trying to say, but at the same time, when you say, oh, hey, little people shouldn't be portrayed as X, Y, or Z, and they start taking those jobs away, well, then, Peter, you're harming more than you're helping. So,
Yeah, nobody gave him the license to be the chief.
that's kind of it too. It's like, who who are you talking for? Because you have a whole lot of little people are going like, hey man, not cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but anyway, we
Absolutely.
have our buddy, the Flash, Ezra Miller. So, which post is this?
Go to his Instagram, watch the video.
I say which one is it? The close one on his face here.
Yes.
Okay, so
Is Ezra Miller, aka the
For
Ben
all of you who
Ghouls,
don't know,
the
Ezra
Mad
Miller
Goose
left a
Wizard,
little message for the
and this is a message for the Beulahville chapter of the North Carolina Ku Klux Klan.
oh, geez.
Hello, first of all, how are y'all doing?
Right.
It's me. Look, if y'all want to die, I suggest just killing yourselves with your own guns.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Was it South Carolina or North
It
Carolina?
was South Carolina, but hey, Ezra, we're not gonna go that way.
Well, I mean, what?
Yeah, first of all, who the hell is Ezra Miller? And trust me, we are no friends of the KKK here. I don't like the KKK. I have, we have
I have no respect for him.
no respect. But man, those are the country boys who own guns that you're just going after. There's certain people there's a lot of people I don't like. A lot of people I don't respect. I am not going to call them out on Instagram and say, look, oh, here I am. I'm going after you. It's like, buddy, what are you, like 150 pounds soaking wet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna walk up to The Rock, slap him in the face, and be like, "You suck."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
No. Like, and yeah, like I'm just going to go to The Rock and say, like, so how many steroids did you do today? Me. Like, no,
Right.
not doing that because one, I think he does steroids. But anyway, not going to call him out to his face because that's just stupid.
Right.
And I'm not that stupid. I'm stupid on several other levels, but not that stupid.
Like I would like to keep my teeth. I'd like to
Dude,
I'd like to survive the punch.
Literally punch your head off. Literally punch your head off.
Dude's fucking crazy. He's huge. He's a monster.
But
But I also
and also he comes off as a very sweet man. And
Well,
he
I
does a
should
lot of
s-
things. But there's certain things where you just go, hey, racist hillbillies, come at me. You don't do that. That's just stupid.
car breaks down in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Hey.
Yeah, dude, karma's a mother, so
Yeah. And for the record, I don't dislike The Rock. I was saying, like, if I did, I wouldn't go up to him and be like, hey, yeah.
I like The Rock, but I'm a little over.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm a little over The Rock.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger of this day. Only I think Arnold was cooler back then.
Well, and okay, so all right, so we're doing this. So I think Rock is much more quantity over quality. So I'm just not the biggest fan of his movies.
You're actually, I agree. And then you got me thinking about Schwarzenegger, and it's like that poor guy just ran out of quality.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
Like one day he woke up and his movies didn't work anymore.
the thing that he had been doing for decades, everybody goes, "Yeah, man, we're over it.
Yeah,
We're
moving.
we're done. We're gonna move on. We got this."
He's like the last action hero, though.
Everybody's like, "Nah, man, we're good." We
Okay.
got like Jason Bourne and stuff coming down the pipeline. So
Yeah. But I hear California needs a governor.
hey, anyway,
Hey-oh.
hi. So, but all right. So Ezra Miller being a jackass as usual, unfortunately.
We are wrong, though.
Yeah.
We are wrong about Ezra Miller. I forgot.
What's that?
He'd whoop their ass, dude. He's the Flash.
Oh, that's true. He's been reading his own
Yeah.
clippings there.
Yeah, he's not Grant Gustin Flash, but whatever.
Right. You ever see the story with Stephen Amell where he's like, I've never felt so stupid as when they had the episode where him and Grant switch characters. He's like, I've never felt as dumb as running on a treadmill in front of a green screen for the one.
Okay.
He's like, as an actor, I've never felt so dumb. I was like, oh, poor Grant. So
Yeah, that guy puts his heart and soul into that show.
Oh, I know.
Grant.
I know, but also it's like, well, once again, the quality of they've just run out of ideas in that show.
I don't think that they've run out of ideas. I think they've misused a lot of them and CW'd everything up.
Well, yeah, I say, well, how many times can you have them go back in time again to screw everything up again, and then try and fix it again? It's like, okay. Oh, wait, who's the fastest? No, this guy's the fastest. Oh, okay, well, I defeated this guy. Oh, no. This guy's the fastest.
Was there ever a timeline that his life just unraveled normally and he was a speedster? I'd like to see that one where maybe he went back in time, he learned his lessons, we're all done with that, but nobody showed up from the future like 1,000 times.
Yeah, well, where's the timeline where he just worked on his relationship with what's her name there? So,
well, that's what we have.
Well, that's where we're at now.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so from CBR, from CBR, Superman writer shuts down claim on John Kent's bisexuality. Kid killed son of Kal-El's sales. Superman son of Kal-El writer Tom Taylor shuts down rumors that having John Kent come out as bisexual has negatively impacted the series' sales. See, I agree and slightly disagree because I think they did that as strictly as a ploy. They got a bump for a couple episodes, and then everybody realized, like, hey, Tom, your story still sucked.
And what's his name? Tom who?
Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor.
So
I don't know. I don't have anything nice to say about it.
That's how I say Tom Taylor. Never heard of you. Addressed the rumor that John Kent's sexuality hurt the series' sales. Taylor posted screenshots of multiple articles and videos claiming that though Superman, son of Kal-El's number 5, experienced a sales spike over the announcement of John's sexuality, the series tanked in December and didn't appear on any charts. Which we talked about that last episode. Is basically if you're not a Batman or Batman related title coming out of DC, you're not even on any of the charts. So
I don't know. They need somebody to steer the ship right over there. And I don't think it's coming for a while. Got to remember, DC was riding high for a long time. And what goes up must come down.
Yeah. Just like anything, I guess. But at the same time, the leadership over there has been a mess there for a little bit. So I know they just brought on a new, see if I can find the article real quick. But they did bring on a new leadership because I believe, was it Daniel Cherry III just left recently, so they needed to fill a spot. So and they just saw the article with who replaced him. Bear with me for just a second, please. And so there it is. So DC appoints new senior president and general manager. So put this back up. So DC appoints new senior vice president and general manager Anne Wing DePies, sorry, as its new senior vice president and general manager. A longtime Warner Brothers and DC executive. That doesn't bode well for me. Takes
I hope
over.
he doesn't know anything about comics.
I
hope she doesn't know anything about comics.
Well, it just says as longtime Warner Brothers and DC executive takes over as the company's senior VP, GM effective immediately as such. These will now be leading DC's publishing efforts alongside Jim Lee, the company's publisher and chief creative officer, who deserves a whole lot of speculation as to the downfall of DC Comics himself. And this hurts me to say because I love Jim Lee with a passion, but the proof's in the pudding, as they say. And DC has not gotten better, especially over the last, at least the last 5+ years under his tutelage. So,
there's one thing that you can maybe go with, and we'll never know, is that he's got bosses too, and whatever they want him to do, he's got to do.
Well, I think
essentially he's a figurehead.
Well, and I think that's it. I think most people kind of recognize that because the man's literally a living legend in the industry, and it's pretty much known that he's essentially a figurehead, and everything else is going on behind closed doors. So,
yeah, I mean, because you've read a lot of Jim Lee's stuff. I've read a lot of Jim Lee's stuff. It's always about the adventure.
He does, obviously he's more on the art side, but all his story, but he always gets attached to the top talent as top writing talent. Jim Lee's not going to do art for a crappy book. That's the end. That's it. So if Jim,
I beg to differ. I read the All-Star Batman and Robin and that.
See, I did not. So, but anyway,
one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Frank Miller went, boom! That's right, Jim! Ah! I mean, it had to. He had to. Batman set cops on fire. He went around going, I'm the goddamn Batman the whole time. It wasn't love making, but it was on a rooftop. And it was the other thing you call it. It starts with an F with the Black Canary.
Yeah. Are you talking about Frank Miller or Jim Lee?
Frank Miller wrote all this.
Yeah,
Jim Lee drew it. The art's beautiful.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because they were like, oh, what's the worst? That's one of those we were talking about earlier. What's the worst that could happen? Ah, damn it, Frank. So.
Yeah, they didn't let him write The Dark Knight Returns Part 3 alone.
No. No. So,
It
but
did not.
She says it's incredibly humbling to step into this role at a place I've been for a while. She first joined the DC team in 2011, but most recently served as the company's senior vice president, global brands and franchises. I feel like I partially grew up at DC, and I've seen how important it is, how important we are to our fans. So, well, it sounds good to get the chance to lead our company. To do even more for them is a dream come true. So, there you have it.
She may be the hope. Who knows?
Who knows? But not a whole lot of hope. Just the way things are going. So
I don't mind Jim Lee being the chief creative officer.
No, but at the same time, I mean, you have to be like, hey, has DC gotten better? Are we on an upswing or where? Because I think
they're down.
No, they're down. Some people refer to DC as dead comics, and for certain besides a handful of titles, they're right. So
I know. I guess what I meant by that was like chief creative officer between movies, TV, and comics, because that's what Jeff Johns used to do.
Right. Well, Jeff Johns, isn't he supposed to be? He's not coming back to DC, but because he was overdoing movies for a while, and then he's supposed to be coming back to comics, but I don't know exactly where he's landing.
You mean he was like making his own movies, or?
Well, no, it was more like in Hollywood. Oh, it was on the Hollywood side of things.
No, now that's Jim Lee. He's off of that.
Right.
That's what Jim Lee's up to, as far as I know, anyway. After the whole Zack Snyder stuff, So yeah.
But
yeah.
So also going off of more rumors and speculation. So we were talking about Book of Boba Fett last time, Adam, and we were really get this up real quick. So I was speculating about some of the future things going on, and I was watching, or I was actually listening because I was driving to Overlord DVD, and he had a video come out earlier, either it was late yesterday or earlier today, saying that it's basically confirmed that Han Solo is supposed to be in episode 7 of the Book of
If you
Boba
can
Fett.
hear.
I lost you. So, all right. So once Adam internet fixed itself, so he gets that from Stephanie Jancic of the Smuggler's Cantina. There you go. Got you back. Okay, good.
There we go. Hello.
Hi. She was the first to report it, so I just want to give her props. So, and I went over there just recently, just before the show, to confirm it, and it's no longer up there. So
About Harrison Ford.
yeah. So it was supposed to be confirmed because that was the thing we were talking about. Where are they actually going to do what the fans have needed? Fans have wanted them to do, is get Harrison Ford, basically, Han, Luke, and Leia, get them all on the screen at the same time. They've gotten, verbal permission from Carrie Fisher's daughter to do her likeness, and she would actually end up doing her voice. And then obviously you already have Luke because Mark Hamill doesn't have a ton going on. So, I say besides he needs to stay off Twitter. Let's be honest. But so I thought that was pretty interesting. What do you think, Adam?
I'm all about it. If they can do it, like I said last time, they better do it right. Right. But I'd love to see Han, Luke, and Leia on the big screen again. And you know what? I'm not going to take what I just said that seriously. Actually, if they screw it up, I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because I still got the original Star Wars. It's still there. It's still mine. I can still watch it. You know what I mean? Like if they want to try it, cool. Let them try it. Maybe it'll introduce people to them. To seeing the original ones. I know people who've yeah, I've seen the prequels, but I've seen the sequel trilogy, but I've never seen the originals. And I'm like,
what?
Hey, yeah. I'm like, really? Do you want to? Nah, I don't think I have to.
Yeah, you do.
I kind of, but whatever.
To each his own, I guess. But yeah, how do you?
All those people are about 12 years younger than we are too.
Well, that's even with my son. Like we've had the classic of what is the proper way to watch the Star Wars, at least the prequels and the originals. I was like, no, you have to watch it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. That's the only proper way to do it. He's like, well, no, that doesn't make sense. I was like, no, it makes sense because if you watch it the other way, the big reveal in Empire Strikes Back makes 0 sense.
Indubitably. That's like finding out Gizmo Duck's secret identity. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. No, you're right.
Does anybody remember Gizmo Duck's secret identity?
No, but I remember what he had to say to put the Gizmo Duck suit on. Blathering blatherskites.
That's right.
Wouldn't that be crazy if a bunch of metal just jumped on my body right now and I was like an iron duck?
Adam, if that's what it takes, then yes, I would be very surprised that metal just started appearing on your body and you turn into some type of robot. Yes.
Know what I'd do?
What would you do?
Crime fight.
Like, where do I go? Well, Detroit's down the road. Well, maybe not Detroit yet.
I'll start small. I'll go to Rochester. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens here.
But people think I look cool.
Right. All right. So, what else we got going on here? So, alleged leaked photos suggest Tom Cruise will play Iron Man in Doctor Strange sequel. What?
Yeah, he was the studio's pick to play Iron Man.
I know. That was back in the 90s, though, the late 90s.
No. That was for the Iron Man movie in the MCU now.
Oh.
It said to John Favreau and Kevin Feige, they're like, we want to get Robert Downey Jr. And he's a loser because Robert Downey Jr. is going through a lot of stuff. He was just coming out of it.
Right.
We're going to get Tom Cruise. And they're like, we're not making the movie. We want Robert Downey Jr. No, we got Tom Cruise. We want Tom Cruise. They're like, okay, great. Make it with someone else. What? And they held out. Like, it's not going to be Tom Cruise. It's Robert Downey Jr. or we walk. That's what Jon Favreau and Kevin Feige said. And so they got Robert Downey Jr. and not Tom Cruise. So the whole point of this shtick of Tom Cruise being Iron Man is to recognize that little argument and that holdout, which kind of makes this cool.
Right. Yeah, that's huh. So
Yep.
but
So without Jon Favreau and without Kevin Feige, we would have got Tom Cruise as Iron Man.
I say, just reading through the article real quick. So, however, back in 2018, Cruise addressed the rumor stating, "Not close, not close. I love Robert Downey Jr. I can't imagine anyone else in that role, and I think it's perfect for him." Yeah, which is true. It's one of those. It's the classic list of actors who have passed on roles, but they turn it into iconic things like Indiana Jones. I think Tom Selleck was supposed to play Indiana Jones, but
It was, yeah, Tom Selleck.
which I mean just completely changes the entire way. I mean, you look at that role. So
Yeah, Indy wouldn't have had to wear the hat. You'd have had the mustache.
that's right. I had even more people wearing awesome mustaches. So.
Yeah. Notice that our generation doesn't wear mustaches. We just have that.
Yeah, I can't grow a decent mustache to save my life. I mean, it's there. It's just not neat.
Yeah. Mine doesn't connect here.
Rumor claims to reveal more details entitled for Apple TV's Godzilla series. Rumor details.
Hey, we're forgetting the one topic that brought this all up for a Monday night.
Oh, that's true. So let's do that.
I say we don't.
No?
No, I say we do it, but I say they don't.
Oh, yeah. So,
Joker 2 is greenlit.
Yeah, hold on.
As I hold on, I think about the Joker. And I say,
yeah, so anyway, according to CPR report, Joker sequel with Joaquin Phoenix expected to begin filming next year. So
next year?
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix, Clown Prince of Crime, could return to the big screen sometime in the near future, with one report claiming that production is moving forward on a sequel to 2019 Joker. Obviously, Phoenix will reprise the role as Arthur Fleck / Joker in the upcoming sequel. Rumblings began of the Joker sequel back in May of 2021. A report suggested Phillips would co-write the script. Doubt was cast on the sequel's existence in October of that same year when Phoenix gave an uncertain answer. You can't. That's why I don't understand about these things. Be like, hey, is there going to be a sequel to the actors? You can't just walk up to these guys and be like, hey, man, what's the next top secret movie that you're working on? That's not how it works.
Yeah.
They literally said, I don't know, because Joaquin Phoenix is kind of a weirdo in his own right, but you just don't walk up and be like, hey, man, are you working on another Joker movie? What do you think he's going to say to you? No, it's not your business.
I would have said, no. Well, yeah, there is. It's going to be Joker and the Snorks.
Yeah, right. Alternatively, some fans began speculating that Matt Reeves' upcoming film, The Batman, is actually the Joker sequel they've been waiting for. Why would you even think that? Not only are both films set aside the DC extended cinematic universe, they also depict a similarly broken Gotham City. As such, it seems likely the Batman will be a spiritual successor of sorts to Joker, with Reeves appearing to take similar character-driven approach to the Cape Crusader as Phillips did with Batman's arch nemesis. Actor William Dafoe, who reprised his role in Green Goblin Spider-Man No Way Home, recently pitched his idea for a Joker sequel in which Dafoe plays an imposter Joker opposite to the Phoenixes. So if they ever bring William Dafoe in, I think he's too old right now to play the Joker, but if they ever did a Three Jokers movie, they've got to bring William Dafoe in as the criminal.
Well, that's what I just thought too. I wouldn't mind him playing the Joker if he, had the makeup on and stuff. I think he'd be great.
I think he'd be fantastic, but I think he's just it almost have to be obviously an older Batman and an older storyline. That's why I think the Three Jokers are probably best for it. So
The Dark Knight Returns.
yes, but so it looks like Todd.
Have you seen that?
What?
Dark Knight Returns.
The animated movie.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yes,
greatest Batman story ever told.
pretty good, but pretty weird at the same time.
Weird. How so?
Which one's the one where it's got the gang of? Are they all like super jacked dudes?
They're just called the mutants. They've shaved their teeth.
Yeah. I mean, they look a little bit weird. That's why I'm like, oh, that's different. That's a little bit weird.
Right.
But
don't go all Billy on us now.
right. So it looks like they've got the core of the cast coming back. So obviously you've got Joaquin Phoenix coming back, and if you've got the director / co-writer Todd Phillips coming back, I'm excited. So I know we were talking about it a little bit, and I know you had a lot to say about it. So I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Okay, so I love the first movie. I love the movie Joker. I really do. I don't watch it all the time. I think I've seen it.
Well, that's one of those movies you don't sit there and watch over and over and over.
Right. I can tell you that Gotham City was based off of New York City in like the late 70s, early 80s or whatever, because that haven't had that big rat problem. They had that in New York as well. And there was a lot of mirrored situations. I liked how they touched on mental health and the reality of it all. I like how Joaquin Phoenix character just let go, like we talk about in The Killing Joke and a lot of that stuff. There's so much good in that. There's hardly any bad in that movie. I mean, with the exception of the intentions. But here's the thing. I don't think that movie was lightning in a bottle, and I don't think it's like perfect under any stretch of the imagination. But it seems like it's a strong, really strong one-off. Like it was so earnest and so grounded in reality. How does this guy get out of that asylum? I mean, in real life, the real Arkham Asylum, should there have been one in a real life, wouldn't be this crazy revolving door unless the justice system was doing it. Overcrowding, they let him go, whatever. But like for all these super criminals to escape all the time, I don't think that would be a thing. So, this guy, I mean, he'd really have to be cunning. Now, if he did escape, and that's what they're going with, I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see what he's going to do. I don't think there'll be a Batman. I don't think there'll be a hint of a Batman.
But he's just a kid at least the last one.
Right. But they could skip forward. They could age it all up. They could jump 15 years. So if the kid was like 8, what 15 more years is 18, 23. It could be 23. So he could be a 23-year-old Batman.
He could be in that year 2 window.
Yeah, he could be. So that's just it. That's that. I have a lot to say about that one because I don't know what their plan is, and I'm I certainly hope it's not Willem Dafoe's idea. Like let's add another Joker who's an imposter. No, let's not do that.
No, William, don't do that.
Yeah, let's not do that. But I'm more interested, more intrigued than I am excited. I'm excited, but I'm intrigued more than anything else. Because when I walked out of the theater, I don't know what it was like for you the first time you saw it. Walked out of the theater, and I was like, well, Heath Ledger's in no danger of like not being the greatest Joker of all time. And I was like, but then, well, and I would think of this stuff. And I'm like, this was a crazy. I was depressed. I was like, this is nuts. Like I needed some Looney Tunes after watching that movie. Like I needed some levity. I needed something to make me laugh.
Yeah,
the hospital.
There was a decompression needed after that film. That's for sure.
Indefinitely. I will say there's some beats they hit with the Joker in that movie that were perfect. Absolutely perfect. Like the Joker from the comics. Cops would be chasing him. He'd have that mask on. He'd go into a crowd and they'd be like, oh, you're cops. You're trying to get our guy. And then he'd just walk away.
Yep.
like every time he looked like he was about to get caught or like he should have, like he took 2 steps to the left and, an anvil falls out of the sky, so to speak.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, that's the Joker. He should have died right there, but he didn't die. So
Yeah, I was always intrigued that like I said, I thought it worked as a one off, like in the comics they call it a one shot. And I was like, okay, cool. But now they're doing a sequel. Now, you don't just do a sequel in today's Hollywood. It's not just 2 movies. It has to be a trilogy, basically. Now, and if you're going to do a trilogy, you can't do 3 separate movies that don't connect to the DCEU. 1, that doesn't make sense. 2, it's stupid. So they have to tie it into the DCEU at some point, and it just makes me wonder at what point do they try and tie it in with Matt Reeves? Like I said, it's very similar takes on Gotham, and do they just finally say, "Hey, screw it, here, Robert Pattinson, here's your Joker," and do they actually have him meet?
I thought that guy from Eternals was going to be, is rumored to be Robert Pattinson's Joker. Druig. The guy who played Druig.
Oh yeah, but I mean, haven't heard anything about that. But
I don't know if we see eye to eye on this one. I think this one should stay in its pocket universe. This shouldn't touch anything out there because you know what? Touching all of that shit will put some tarnish on this. That's how I think.
do we just want to have 3? How do you have 3 Joker movies without running into the Batman at some point?
I haven't given that a lot of thought, and I agree it's odd and kind of dumb, but this is what I'm thinking. Are they trying to make this guy they trying to make the Joker an anti-hero? And then are they trying to make him like, we had a Batman movie in 1989. Now we got a Joker movie. Who's Batman? I don't know. You know what I mean? Are they trying to make him his own thing?
I hope not, because to me it's peanut butter and jelly, man. They go together at some point. Like,
Yeah.
I love peanut butter at some point, but you know what? Damn it, it's just better with something else.
Well, yeah, I love peanut butter on my crackers, all that kind of stuff, but I better have jelly on my sandwich, you know? Um, but I'm intrigued. That's what I have to say about that. And yeah, the relationship between Batman and the Joker. It's crazy. They've addressed it so many times in so many different variations of the comics where like uh Batman has gone away and the Joker just stops.
Yeah.
Goes catatonic, you know what I mean?
Well, and
All
that's
that
the
kind
other
of
thing.
stuff.
Do they actually try it and put it into one of the known Joker stories now? Do they just kind of, because this story is kind of, like I said, it's a one off, it's a one shot, but going forward, do they try and work it into an actual already done Joker storyline?
I don't know. I don't know. Um that's where you got me hanging on the cliff right there. I don't know. It
Because
all comes because all of this speculation between the two of us, we both make great points. I think the biggest point in all of this is, didn't we say all we had to say with the first one?
well, and that's always the problem. I mean, if you're gonna take, and I'm not gonna say, like I said, it's not a perfect movie. It's not. Uh, you don't really have to compare Jokers. I know everybody wants to compare Heath Ledger to everybody, but it's not really even a comparison because it's a completely separate thing. So you don't have to worry about comparing. But my thing is, if you're going to sit here and dabble in the DCEU, you've got your own universe, but at some point, just the Joker has to
Have a Batman?
he has to have a Batman. Just has to. So,
Well, that's interesting too, because you could fast forward it. You could make a real evil Batman out of this. You really could. If you just did a different Batman, that could be cool. You know what I mean? Because he was there the night that the whole damn town went rioting. And in all of the other Batman storylines, the town was not rioting.
well, and that's the thing, because anybody who collects McFarlane will show you there's about 27 different Batman. So you basically just have to pick one
You
and
can get
go.
him in a hazmat suit now.
That's how I would say. He's got a hazmat suit. There's ones where he's a lantern. It's like, just pick a Batman and just go, man. I don't care. So,
Yeah.
but that's how I feel. I mean, if you're gonna sit here and that being said, you know, what's the writer's name again? If Todd Phelps could write a badass, 2-3 series thing where he never touches Batman, but you at least have to touch something in the DC universe that connects him to the DC universe. Either if it's a Penguin, a Bane, just a Riddler. There's certain ways you just have to tie it in there somehow.
I think you could have all
that's
of
what I
that.
think.
I think you could have all of that. Now you got my gears going. I think you could definitely have all of that, because if you aged the Batman, if 18, 15 or 18 to 15 years, whatever you did, 20 years later, because obviously that movie did take place in the past. You could tell by the cars. You could tell by the way people dressed.
The youngest version of Thomas Wayne we've seen.
Exactly. So you keeping that in mind, you develop a Batman cinematic universe around that.
Or even
around
right. Is this where you just develop the rogues, right? The rogues gallery, just develop it right here.
Yeah, you develop that and you give him your hero. You know what I wanted from this movie, what I thought this movie would be when I first heard about the Joker. One moment, please.
I'll play it. Thank you.
No problem.
Adam burped.
I did, but I yeah. Anyway, I thought that maybe you'd be on this. He'd already be the Joker. That's one thing. I didn't think I'd get that movie that did come out. This was where my head went. I was like, what if we never see Bruce Wayne? Well, we only see Bruce Wayne on TV as the philanthropist and the playboy. And then when we see Batman, he just comes and he fucks up Joker's plans and Joker gets away, but we always stay with Joker and we never really get a good look at Batman. That's what I thought this was going to be. It wasn't, but that's what I thought.
No, and I think, and everything I just said, basically Gotham already did, because that was mainly set on all the villains, coming into their own before Batman's even, thought of, really.
Baby Batman. How did you feel about that? Because you have Batman taking out the mob and all the original stories and all this kind of stuff. He's taking out the mob, and he's fighting crime in Gotham City. And after he accomplishes so much after his first year, then the super criminals start showing up. It's always like he's made things worse. Ever since he got here, we've had this Riddler guy. We've had this Joker guy. How did you feel about Gotham's approach being the exact opposite to that?
I mean, it was interesting. I'll say that. Not really enough to keep my interest. I watched it off and on, because I am the worst at keeping up with stories on TV. That's why Netflix and all these are the best for me, just so I can go back and watch them at my leisure, if you will. But
Sure.
yeah, it wasn't even at that point. I just lose interest so easily. So you really gotta do something special to keep my attention. Not saying that my attention is worth keeping or anything, but I mean, you really got to keep things going. That being said, damn it, there's so many other cool Batman storylines that I want to see before that.
Before that.
Can we just get a trilogy of the Court of Owls? Can we just get a awesome Court of Owls trilogy, please? Stop dinking around with these stories that are, year two. We've seen the beginning. We've seen, the end. Can we get a quarter? I'd love to see a Court of Owls, or God forbid, a proper Bane, not the stupid Banes that they've tried to portray. Not saying Tom Hardy's was a bad Bane, but that's not Bane.
I thought thought it was Bane. Just was missing the venom. You know.
Well, that's
And nobody ever owns him, though. That's the thing that kills me. No one ever owns the guy. Why the fuck do we have people owning him?
that's why I say Bane's never been correctly
Right.
brought to the screen. Where he's not going back to Batman and Robin. He's not just a big dumb muscle. He's intelligent. He's very articulate. He's basically a genius that can go superhuman strength at any given moment.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's right there. Boy, that Dark Knight Rises would have been so much better if they would have just. No, thank you, Talia.
Well, also, and not rush the Nightfall series. I was like, oh, here's the third movie. By the way, we're going to sneak in this freaking super important Batman storyline.
Yeah, they had two in there: No Man's Land and Nightfall.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we got the X-Men back together. Let's try the Dark Phoenix thing again.
And never try the Phoenix.
Yeah, never introduce the Phoenix to begin with. Let's just go straight to the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
If you want to see the Dark Phoenix, then go watch the X-Men animated series from the 90s.
I wanted cake. Well, here's a big bowl of ice cream. Or here's a big bowl of icing.
Here's some Greek yogurt. Damn it.
I wanted cake. Here's some Greek yogurt and a cup of icing.
That's not what I wanted. Well, that's what you get.
That's what you get. What do you think this is, Duncan Hines?
So that's it. They are going. Joker sequels going forward. It's beginning filming in 2023, so you're probably not getting it till 2024, possibly 2025.
And that's enough time for them to forget about it.
That's it, dude. That's the thing too, and that was my concern with Dune. I was like, man, you got to really strike while that iron's hot. But
yeah,
I mean that's a movie that I think they're definitely come out for. But yeah, you're pushing it by. It's got to be out by 2024. It has to.
Yeah, you can't. And the whole reason this is happening is not just because Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. The movie did $1 billion.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you never even mentioned Batman. But like I said, I just think you start dabbling in that universe. You got to eventually connect some strings somehow. So
yeah,
because I hate to say it, but hey, Marvel's been kicking your ass at movies literally the entire time. Take a cue from them for once. Actually start connecting some of these things. So, Adam, did you watch any of that Peacemaker? Or
no, but I watched the second episode of Boba Fett yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably worse than you about keeping up with some stuff, unless I'm like totally immersed in it.
Well, that's why I got to keep. I just got to have a couple shows here and there that I keep up with. So, the latest episode, Peacemaker, pretty fun. So I won't give out too many spoilers, but there are way more butterfly people than so, and they go and check that out. But also at the same time, they just make Peacemaker such a jackass, just such a jackass that it's almost like, oh, buddy, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with sometimes, but yeah, hard to watch. Be like, yeah, let's get into this because let's see how much of a jackass they can make Peacemaker now. But
yeah, it's like watching Sheldon. The show is just Sheldon.
And so just going through stuff. So the Flash's Grant Gustin set to sign on for a season 9. Holy Lord, they're going on with a season 9 of the Flash.
Hey, they do a season 10, man, and we got ourselves a Smallville rival.
Are we calling it a rival?
Well, I mean, Smallville did 10 seasons. I think that's the longest DC. It's the longest running comic book show there might be.
Right.
Arrow did. Well, Arrow says 8, but it did 7.5. Oh, I got a funny story to tell.
Oh,
And if you're watching this, buddy, my friend Ross loves Smallville. Loves it. I work with him. And he loves Smallville. I love Smallville. We talk about it. Well, he found Superman and Lois. Now, Superman and Lois is a good show. I really enjoy it. So does he. I said, dude, you gotta see Titans. At least the first 2 seasons. He's like, yeah. It's like, I'll send you the trailer. He looks at it, he goes, I'll check this out when I get home. And so I get a text from him over the weekend. Hey man, this shit's crazy. I talked to him today at work. I'm like, well, you didn't like it? He's like, they're killing everybody. Everybody's getting killed and there's blood everywhere.
they sure are.
I was like, oh yeah. This ain't Smallville, buddy. He's like, no, it's not. So that was funny. But he likes Superboy, Connor Kent from Smallville. And so I said, you got to hang in there because you get Connor Kent. Well, he's not Kent, but you get Connor in season 2 of Titans.
And
then I
his
showed him the
dogs,
scene.
and his little dog too.
I showed him the scene with Crypto using his heat ray vision. I was like, see? Yeah, Crypto.
So
You know how much a Crypto action figure is? You know how that much that pisses me off.
how much is it, Adam?
Like $80 to $100 for a really good one. 60 for one that looks like a cartoon.
Yeah. I don't know. McFarlane's got to be releasing one of these days.
I don't know. Zora and R doesn't come with a bat mic, so I'm not going to hold my breath.
So, one of the things that's coming out that I'm moderately intrigued by, and that is Paramount Plus is putting out the Halo TV series. Now, if you've been a big Halo fan, I have not, but my son's a big Halo fan, and I know I have a lot of family members that are big Halo fans. So either it's going to be one of those things that you absolutely love, or are you're going to be incredibly critical of, which you should be. But this is stuff like this has been off and on with Peter Jackson, who obviously did Lord of the Rings. He was supposed to be attached to either a Halo movie or Halo TV show, and it's finally coming out. It's going to be out in March on Paramount Plus. So there is a trailer dropped for it, so go check that out. Let us know what you think of that. So
that's a topic for Patrick.
Yeah, I was going to ask my son to watch it and let me know what he thought of it. So, based on the popular and long-running Xbox video game series of the same name, Halo follows an epic 26th century between humanity and an alien threat known as a Covenant, weaving deeply drawn personal stories with action, adventure, and richly imagined vision of the future. The Paramount series stars Pablo Schreiber as Master Chief Petty Officer John 117, better known simply as Master Chief, the main protagonist of the mainline Halo game series. He is joined by Natasha McCullough, who played Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Halsey, and Jen Taylor, who provides the voice for Cortana. So I watched the trailer. Looks okay, but obviously that is not my forte. So Halo fans, go check it out. Let us know what you think of it. Maybe we'll have Patrick on next time to talk about it. So,
yeah, I mean, he could tell us anything we want to know, really.
Right. I mean, to play a lot of the games are obviously, they're a blast, but it's one of those crazy things as you get older, you have less time for video games. So,
yeah, I was never good at first-person shooter. I was never good at most video games, so I really can't say, yeah. I was always like, I'll just watch you.
Yeah, that's how I was like. I won't tell that story, but I just remember playing video games with my son, and it's not fun when you're not good at them. It's not as fun as it seems because I'll just leave it at that. It's not quite as fun if you're not at least adept at them, when you're still trying to figure out the difference between shooting the gun and throwing a grenade and blowing yourself up. So,
yeah, indeed.
Let's see here. Let's go through some of the stuff here, see if we're missing any stuff. So, Roland Emmerich did not want to make his divisive Godzilla movie. That's fair. The Batman spin-offs and sequels depend on success of the movie, says director Matt Reeves. Big brain on Matt Reeves from that one. Thanks. It's weird. Really, the sequels depend on how well your movie does. Thanks, Matt.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no kid. Batgirl photo set provides first new look at Brendan Fraser's rumored Firefly character. So
He's Firefly?
yes, sir.
That's interesting.
So.
That's interesting. I like her suit.
Are we going back there? It's like
We're going back.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna sit there and destroy it.
Well, you know what? And then I also thought about another thing too. It's like you kind of mentioned it. Like, what do you want? You know? And yeah, that's it. What do you want? A big thick rubber suit?
Yeah, it's
You know?
once
You want a muscle suit?
I mean, do you just want all latex? Is that your thing? Because
I'll tell you another reason I like it too, because it doesn't look like it's very armored or anything. So, you know, why not? She's just that damn good.
right?
Like, I think they should have, well, maybe that would be, I think Robin should be a kid if they ever make a Robin movie or a Batman and Robin again. And, you know, the kid's just that damn good. You know, he doesn't need a cowl or a helmet or anything like that or any extra protection.
So, yeah, not a ton to show, but I always like seeing on-set photos, especially. Brendan Fraser was not looking great the last time we saw him, but I have zero room to talk, but just happy to see he looking better.
Yeah, yeah. Like the name of his dietitian.
It's
As
called,
long as they
it's
serve
called
rice pudding.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Hollywood. Meshack Taylor, you mean?
Hollywood.
Hey, remember Meshack Taylor, don't you?
Remind me.
He was in the Mannequin movie. Remember
Oh
Mannequin?
yeah.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
And he was in Designing Williams. Designing Women. Remember? He was the other guy. He was their friend.
All right, Adam. I think we're unless we got anything else we want to bring up.
No, I started talking about Meshack Taylor. The show's over.
As soon as we bring up Meshack, that's when we start playing the wrap it up music.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Hey, yo, I thought he was funny. I always liked it.
Oh yeah.
That Mannequin movie, I used to watch it a lot. I was always like,
That was an 80s classic, man.
it's a mannequin and it turns into a human. I go, Ma, hello?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You always looked at, you never looked at mannequins the same way again. You're
Like, think that one moved.
I think that one moved on me. All right, Adam. I don't even have anything for reading. I still got to watch, or still got to read Scorched #1. Did you get a chance to read that yet?
That is on my list, sir,
So,
for this week. I was going to read it tonight.
I still have it sitting right here.
Yeah.
And plus,
I wonder what do you know what She Spawn's story is?
I do not. I am not. Like I said, I am just getting back into Spawn and comics, so I think she's been around long enough. Sorry, throwing things at animals because they keep barking and chasing the cat in the office here. So, but I still have the Swamp Thing Becoming. This is next on the docket as far as Swamp Thing stuff because I'm almost done with volume 1 of Alan Moore's The Saga of Swamp Thing.
So have you read the Batman stuff in there?
It's not there yet unless it's got to be in a different volume because I'm like unless it's at the very end. So
Okay, no, it's like 4 or 5 books. So
it's 6 books. It's 6 volumes.
okay.
Oh,
You mean there's 6 volumes of Alan Moore's run?
yes.
Holy shit!
Yeah. No, that's why I was like, oh boy, I am getting myself into things. So, yeah, that's not if you decide to go into the realm of the Alan Moore Swamp Thing, better pack a lunch, man, because you're gonna be there for a while. That's why I also picked up the Becoming, just a little bit different take because sometimes Swamp Thing gets a little bit slow. So, but whatever. But I am enjoying the hell out of it. So,
Good man.
All
yeah, I would like to borrow that.
Oh, absolutely. So, all right, Adam, anything that you're reading or anything you want to, or anything that you're watching?
No, I went down the nostalgia hole last night and listened to a bunch of songs from the 90s. That was kind of cool.
That's my favorite thing. Because I use, what do you use for music?
Spotify.
I use YouTube Music, and yeah, they'll whatever's whatever algorithm they compile for you. Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I listened to Glycerine. I did not change the song.
That's another weird thing. Songs that I despised back then and wouldn't listen to, I'm like, this is great.
Well, and not to go complete old man boomer on you, music today sucks.
It's a little old manny over there. I agree, and that's why I agree.
Can't stand most of it. The hip hop / rap people listen to, I'm like, that's not very good. The metal, I'm like,
that's really bad.
That's not good. That's not even. First of all, I'm gonna go super old man. I was like, it's called a guitar solo, guys. Come on, give me something. I think the last band actually did guitar solos was Avenged Sevenfold. I'm like, all right, thank you. But anyway.
You know what's good rap music, don't you? Woke up quick at about noon. Just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I gotta get drunk before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends. Yeah, that's right.
Every Halloween I listen to that.
I'll listen to it like almost every day.
That's like I wake up to that every.
Yeah,
little Ghetto Boys for you every day.
I listen to the Ghetto Boys, Eazy-E, NWA.
Just to start the day.
And sometimes I listen to, not sometimes, a lot of times I listen to Alanis Morissette.
Never a big Alanis fan.
I think Jagged Little Pill is a perfect album.
I think the song Ironic is not that ironic. But anyway.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible.
Oh, no, you're not terrible. You're just misled.
You're just wrong. It's fine.
You're just misled. If it was Sunday and you were gone, I would go get you, bring you back to the other sheep. Just like a Jesus would.
So, all right, Adam.
Yeshua.
Yeshua. So, all right. So, just want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for checking out. If you guys like us, don't like us anyway, thanks for liking, or thanks for stopping by anyway.
Give us a like and a subscribe and share this with your friends if you know any nerd people, that you might like this. And Nick put out a clip of the last show. I'm going to do another one for this week too. And this is all good stuff, man. We love you guys. Thank you.
Yep. Once again, just thank you guys for escaping with us, and we will see you next time.
That's right. Cookie Crisp is a nutritious breakfast.
Oh, I turned the music on and dancing, but we can't see it.
Can't see the dancing.